we are a body of three. We are basically three bodies. I mean, there is the physical, the subtle, and the causal. And the physical is where we eat, organs, and of course our tissues and the doshas that we discussed, vata, pitta, and kapha. But there is a subtle. The subtle is where science or modern science has not able to comprehend or pick up. But there is something that drives the physical, those cells, drive those blood cells to go out there and pick up the oxygen, or drive those white blood cells to go out there and start killing the pathogens or viruses. So that energy is in our subtle part of the body. And this is where the nervous system lies, which is connected to the brain. And obviously the nadis, which we're going to be talking about today, and that's what resides in that subtle body. And this constitutes the nervous system, the central nervous system, which goes through our spine. And there are about 72,000 different nadis in our system, in our body. But we were discussing just the three right now, which are the three main ones, and that is the Sushna, Ida, and the Pingala. So the Sushna is the basic central nervous system, which resides or goes through in the spinal cord from the Muladhara chakra to the Sahasrara. So it runs from the bottom all the way up to the brain. And this is what's connected to your pituitary gland, to your hypothalamus, to the brain in the central nervous system. And these nadis are where the energy flows, which is our prana, the source of life, or consciousness. It's not just taking the breath through those nadis, but also our consciousness, because this is how the brain is able to communicate with the rest of the system or the rest of the body, and it tells it what to do. So it's very important to balance these nadis also. As we talked about, it's a balance of mind, body, and spirit, because if the nervous system is out of balance, then the organs may not perform as they should, or the brain or the pituitary gland in the brain may not produce the hormones that it needs to. And we'll take a look at these a little bit more, where the Sushna, which is the central nervous system nadi, it flows right in between. And this is where the Ida and the Pingala go through like a snake, literally. So this is the nadi, and this is how they are running through. The Ida ends up in the left nostril, and the Pingala ends up on the right nostril. And you all have done pranayamas, and you all have done vilom, and this way you're alternate breathing. And this is what it's doing. It's channeling or clearing those channels, clearing those nadis to kind of make flow of the nervous system, make flow of those signals that are going back and forth between the brain and the nervous system and the rest of the body. So the Sushna is the main, and this is where the chakras are tied on the Sushna. All the 7 chakras are tied in with that nervous system, the central nervous system. And next comes the Ida, which is the left nostril or the left side of the breathing, and the right is the Pingala. In the cosmos, it's always where male and female are together, where they're not separated. So this is the two part of our bodies. We are male and female, where we have different characteristics about the male and the female. So Ida is basically the female and energy, and the Pingala is the male energy. This is where the ego comes in. And of course, the Ida is the compassion, the love, and the caring that comes in. So the Ida starts from the Muladhara and twines with the Sushna and ends up on your left nostril, and the Pingala ends up on your right nostril. And of course, every 2 hours, not knowingly, we do alternative breathing. But it's very important to do intentional alternative breathing, because you are basically cleansing those systems. Now, each one have their own little properties. So the Ida nadi is really in line with the principles of the moon, where it's cooling, it's calming, and then the Pingala is aligned with the solar or the sun, where it's hot and dry and constant. It doesn't change like the ether. So anything that changes with the moon, it's going to change that side of your system or your body. So it's important to cleanse them with daily meditation, with daily pranayams, or the daily, alternate nostril breathing, to make sure you're flowing through those nadis pretty well. Because remember, these nadis that are there, this is the whole nervous system, and these three are the main ones where all the other 72,000 depend on. And the importance of the pranayamas is also cleansing your mind, because the mind is what directs the nervous system, cleansing the pituitary gland, which secretes all the hormones that the body needs. So it's important to balance these three nadis, and they can be blocked with stress, a lot of processed foods, a lot of thinking, a lot of unhealthy habits, unhealthy foods, sleeping late, or tensions, anxiety. So all these are created in the mind, but they can affect those channels or those nadis which block the pranayamas, or which block the essential source of life, where if that is blocked, where the signals are not getting through to those organs and the oxygen is not getting through those organs. So you see where continuous of this happening can have an effect on those organs or those tissues or those body parts or your peripherals. So chronic issues are developed with lack of breath or the prana or the energy moving through these nadis. So it's important to understand, to feel, to visualize when you're breathing or meditating these nadis as such, and making sure some yoga asanas also help making sure all these in balance and keeping them at check. Not only just having your diet and watching your body, but also watching the mind and the breath. So hope this was a good little discussion on the nadis. We'll catch up on the next topic, which is the chakras, next weekend or next Monday. And tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be discussing about fats. A lot of you on ketogenic diets, so I'm going to talk a little bit about fats and oils. Thank you. This is Cosmic Mike. Have a great night.